course, we got to address and talk about is this really devastating news that we all received very recently, the other day, actually, at the time of recording, about Chadwick Boseman passing away. Tim, can you give us a little bit of insight into the passing of Chadwick Boseman, which just happened very recently?
Yeah, it was Friday night. I got a message from you. I was just chilling, watching a movie, and I didn't know what was going on. And yeah, it turns out he had like stage 3 colon cancer since 2016, and he kept it all completely private. Didn't talk about it to anyone, like even like the directors he was working with. I saw like Ryan Coogler posted something about like he had no idea and all that stuff. But yeah, and he made some of his like biggest movies probably while suffering kind of in silence from this colon cancer. It's just kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I think that puts a really interesting spin on his work, and like I read an article in the Times about his passing. It was really, really well put together article, and basically just talking about his work, talking about how when us as fans viewing posthumous work, how it is, it's bittersweet because it's wonderful to kind of like appreciate their work and everything they have to offer and gave to us in their career, and obviously had very illustrious career kind of in a short time in the last decade or so, appearing in so many movies. But also it's sad because it's just you're not going to get any more, and that's kind of what it is, and it's always going to kind of remind you of that. And Sean, do you have any thoughts on kind of his catalog of work, and what's kind of inspired you throughout the years that he's been working on?
Man, it's just, yeah, I think it really, really hit me hard. Kind of like a pit in the stomach sort of moment. Like I was watching a movie with my sons, and I passed out like I frequently do when I put on something for them. Yeah. And I woke up and my lady was like, yo, Chadwick Boseman passed away. And like, I'm kind of sleepy eyed and in disbelief, but it's been the sort of year where like you lightweight have to believe everything you hear. Yeah. So instantly, I did what's just kind of what we do. You jump on socials and just everything is ringing, and it's just so hard to believe and process. You know what I mean? Somebody so young, so talented, who has already meant so much to film, entertainment, the culture, passing, just kind of, it was rough for me, to be honest. And the one thing that I think about more than anything that he did on screen was kind of the way that he carried himself off screen. I've listened to a few podcasts that he went on, and I'm thinking that he did one with Rosenberg not too long ago, where Rosenberg was like, man, I would love to see you, in a basketball movie. Like, you basically have the trifecta. You've done baseball, you've done something in football. Now we need something from you, maybe boxing, maybe basketball, and just talking about his future plans and his vision. Yeah. And it's like, this is a guy that was silently battling, insurmountable odds, and he was still planning, you know what I mean, as if he was going to be here forever. And just that work ethic never slowed down, you know what I mean? And that part was just so crazy to me. He spoke about Kobe on the LeBron show, and how one of his first interactions with Kobe, he saw Kobe kind of like go to this place in his head where he was almost running, what their future looked like together. Wow. And at the time, Kobe was like, because Chadwick was, encouraging him to be a producer or a director and saying that, like, you would be amazing, in Hollywood. I would love to work on something that you produce. And in that moment, he saw Kobe kind of move out of that moment and see the future. And he's like, 2 years, give me 2 years. And it's like, they're both gone. They are both gone.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like, I am so thankful for his breadth of work. I'm thankful for like what the symbol of Black Panther has done for young Black kids, for Black people in general, just to see a Black superhero on such a grand stage. Jackie Robinson, Thurgood Marshall, the roles that he chose were James Brown. Like these are
Yeah.
civil rights leaders. These are Black like icons, you know what I mean? And so it's like he never missed, in my opinion, you know what I mean? And he
Yeah.
always approached it with so much integrity for the art and the characters that like he was the dude. Like you hate to see somebody this talented, this focused, just kind of go like and not get the roses he fully deserved because we didn't really
Yes.
know, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
We didn't know,
Yeah.
and that's the part that's toughest on me. Is like I noticed in the Five Bloods and different things that he's been doing recently. I'm like, man, my man's cut weight. Like, is he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, is he working on something? What's going on? You
Right.
know, my mind never went to he's terminally ill and he might not be here in the next few months. So, man, just sending all the positive energy I can muster to his family and his people, and people that have been affected by his loss.
Beautifully put, man. I think you summed it up really perfectly, man. And yeah, that's one thing that struck me is just this idea that he has, that just he knows kind of what's coming, or at least that he's in this fight. And you can see it in the movies almost. I mean, for me, Black Panther mainly, that was just something that struck me. And the night I found out he passed, I remember reflecting that, man, he is what makes that movie so special. And it's just this quiet gravitas that he has, or whatever it is. It's like this wisdom that's like quiet, and he displays it like so perfectly. And like, man, it just, we talked about on the MCU podcast, which we just did, how that was my number one movie, and I'd watched it 3 times, which is crazy for me. But yeah, now I want to watch it again, because it just speaks volumes, his wisdom that he portrays in that film. And now in hindsight, going back and seeing that, he knew kind of, and that's part of it too, the performance, the importance, everything. Yeah, just really, really beautiful stuff. And the stuff about Kobe too, really beautiful, because I thought of Kobe right away too, and thought of 2020, thought of Kobe, like, oh, fuck it. God damn, like, man, this has been such a trying time. And thought of you, my friend, too, just because, like, yeah, like you said, for Black people in this time. And of course, this happening on the day that MLB, stops the games in honor of Jackie Robinson Day, which they do every year.
Yeah.
That he passes. And then, of course, the MLB also stopping the games because of what's going on right now in this country, and what's going on out here with the police killing people, killing Black people in the streets, or obviously critically injuring or wounding this man that's going on in Kenosha right now. And so it all ties in together. And man, it's just been, that has been 2020, like almost lessons upon lessons. We're getting taught, like, all this shit is happening and it's in sequence and it's connected,
Bro, not to like overspeak, but this year has been an assault on Black people. like we heard that coronavirus was the great equalizer until we got stats back that showed that it disproportionately affected Black and brown folks. Right. And so that's deflating. And then George Floyd happens, and Breonna Taylor and Ahmaud Arbery, and now this young man, Jacob Blake, getting shot in his back. It's like Kobe, I mean, fucking Chadwick Boseman, like every time, every turn, every corner, it's like, God damn, it's like heroes passing, people passing, like it's been a mind fuck of a year. And it's like, I guess the silver lining is, this man carried himself with so much grace, so much purpose. He was there, like, inspiring children with cancer when he was battling it himself. He gave us movies with our civil rights leaders, with, superheroes that we can only aspire to be in real life. And you know, the personal stories that come out about his interactions with people just show like he was 100 on and off, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, it's inspirational, his story to me. It's breaking for his family, for his children, for us. um Black Panther 2 is probably the most anticipated Marvel movie already. Now that we've gotten past, you know, Avengers and Endgame, like Black Panther 2 is the one that we're waiting on, and it's going to be so bittersweet.
Absolutely.
You know, like I mean, where do we go from here? You know what I mean? It's just like, man, it's been a week, bro. It has been a week.
It really has, man. And yeah, that's why I'm so glad to have you on here, man, and get your thoughts out, because you know, it's important for us on the podcast to, you know, have a platform for people to be representative of people and what's going on in the communities, you know. And yeah, so we're really thankful to have you, Sean, and your opinion on these matters is really important for us to try to amplify people. And you have so much great shit to say, man. It's beautiful. Tim, I know, like, one more thing on Chadwick. I know, like, you've been really diving into kind of his what he's done, and of course Sean blessed us with so many the titles that he's done recently, 42 and Get On Up, and of course Marshall, the Thurgood Marshall story. And I know you've kind of been reflecting on these, and has anything stuck out besides Black Panther in his work recently on your review of his work?
So I had never seen Get On Up. I watched that yesterday, kind of in his honor. And like, just kind of was just floored by like that man's talent and ability. Like, he was doing all of that dancing. He was doing a lot of the singing. I mean, they overdubbed James Brown's performances on some of it, but he was doing a lot of the singing that he does on set and stuff. And the performance, like, I always thought, you know, growing up, like, there will never be anyone who can emulate close to what James Brown could do. And to see him doing that, like, so amazingly, just kind of, it's like that, he could do anything, you know? And that's just kind of makes it even more heartbreaking to, you know, think about what we've lost by not having him around to keep like that just tremendous talent going.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, wonderfully put. He created such a nuanced kind of lane for himself as an actor. I think Black Panther was such a great film because it was such a beautiful showcase of all these wonderful young and old Black actors, you know, like who have been around and coming up. And they were all so nuanced, and so many things about the different actors are important. And Chadwick Boseman was just kind of the just the shining example of that. And so definitely rest in peace to him, and thoughts to his family, of course. And you know, we love him here, and we're going to show him love here on the podcast as much as we can in the future, and maybe do a deep dive or something into his catalog to kind of really cement this. And yeah, maybe Sean, we can get you back in here for that or something.
Yeah, for sure, man. You know me. I'm always available. I appreciate the platform. I appreciate you giving us a moment to kind of digest what the fuck just happened. Yeah, because
right.
How many times in 2020 have we said what the fuck just happened? No, seriously.
Hey, have y'all both watched Watchmen? Have you watched Watchmen?
Oh yeah.
The amount of times Regina King is like, "What the fuck?" Like, that's how I feel about this year, bro.
Oh my
God! Like, every time I look around, there's somebody lubing up and fucking heading into the sewers. I'm just like, what
all
the
day,
fuck?
Man. All day, shit, man. Yeah. We need Regina King, more than ever.
So what do you guys think? What do you think Marvel should do? What do you think they should do for Black Panther 2?
Fuck, man. So is it finished? Do we know if
they never even started shooting?
No, come.
Yeah. The only thing that he has in the can is he did like voice acting for a show, the What If show that's coming on Disney Plus. It's like an animated show. That's the last thing that he has that's recorded, I guess.
Yeah. In my opinion, man, out of respect to him and his legacy, honestly, like, in my opinion, they should just, whatever's going on with Black Panther 2 at this moment, they should just shelve it and put it in Ryan Coogler's hands. Very, very capable hands. If they're going to revisit, if they're going to make it happen, just maybe just start brand new or just give him his props and figure it out. But honestly, like at this point in time, I mean, it's hard, man. I mean, honestly, it's like I'm almost on some like, fucking who cares, man? You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. You know what I mean? Because like it's like this man, he epitomized it. So yeah, just put it on the back burner and one day maybe revisit it I don't know. What do you think, Sean?
I have given this a little bit of thought. Like,
okay.
Like kind of my knee-jerk reaction is like, you got to find a way to like, I give it to Michael B. Jordan. You can't really,
absolutely.
You can't give it to anybody else. Like you give it to Michael B. Jordan. And I think us as fans and just supporters of the MCU will just appreciate that, like he already has lineage. He had that moment. It's kind of like when Terminator went from bad to good, like Arnold's character kind of evolved. Like I don't really see another way, because like, damn, like the first Black Panther was just, it was like so many of up and coming Black, like thespians and artists. Like I don't know who you would pull that wasn't in that movie already.
Exactly.
And I think Michael B., he worked so closely with them in the first, and he's already a star, and he deserves to be, in the MCU for like years to come. I'd put it on his shoulders.
I agree 100%.
I think that's a great idea, actually, and I think that they're fully capable of doing it. They could work it in correctly, and like I said earlier, man, you might have just hit the nail on the head with that. And maybe you should be hitting up Ryan Coogler's DMs or whatever, sliding in, bro, and trying to fucking.
I'm sure if I thought of it, they've been thinking about it too. I'm sure. I'm sure it's there.
I love it, man. I love that.
Or Denzel's son, man. Denzel's son.
Yeah.
He killing it. After Tenet, like he might be the guy. You know what I mean? So.
We're big fans of John David on the podcast and Black Klansman, just everything he's doing. And excited for Tenet. That's a great idea. I think we got some really good shouts for how they might approach that. And just a little tender, maybe give it a little time, and then, you know what I mean, kind of go at it and see. But you guys bring up really good points, because man, Black Panther is so culturally relevant and important for the culture that it almost has to continue. It has to like push past 2022, just like all the rest of us do. You know what I mean? And like, I think that's a great shout, man.
All of it's been very personal, just watching the kids experience it. And for me, I would say, they're two little kids, Ian and Taylor, who recently passed from cancer. And throughout our filming, I was communicating with them, knowing that they were both terminal. And what they said to me is, and their parents said, they're trying to hold on till this movie comes. And to a certain degree, you hear them say that, and you're like, wow, that's like, I gotta get up and go to the gym. I gotta get up and go to work. I gotta learn these lines. I gotta work on this accent. Seeing how devoted all of my castmates are, and knowing that will be something meaningful to them. But it's, to a certain degree, it's a humbling experience, because you're like, this can't mean that much to them, But seeing how the world has taken this on, seeing how the movement, how it's taken on a life of its own, I realized that they anticipated something great.